Hello YouTube, this is Wind5387 here with another vintage Mac to add to my collection. As you can see here, I have a 15-inch PowerBook G4. This very PowerBook is the very last PowerBook before they replaced it with the MacBook Pro. And an Apple Mighty Mouse, which is actually not connected to this computer. It's actually connected to my MacBook. And its box. And there's an interesting little story behind this PowerBook and the mouse. And, well, I guess I'll just say it. They were both found in the trash on trash day. And, yes, they were. And here they are, fully working and fully functioning. And this mouse was actually in its original box with its packaging and documentation. And it really doesn't look like it's been through much. It's pretty good condition. And the PowerBook has only sustained a few little scratches and dings. But otherwise, it is perfectly functioning. So the first thing we shall do is take a look at some of the ports and I/O and other stuff on this computer. So on the front of the computer, we have a slot-loading CD-ROM super drive. If we go to the left side over here, where we see the antennas for the internet on the lid. And then there's a power port over here, the modem port, one USB port, one audio in port, and audio out port, and I think this is an SDXC card slot. And if we go over to the other side here, just move this over here, we have a DVI display connector, the S-Video display out, an Ethernet port, one FireWire 800 port, a FireWire 400 port, another USB port, and a Kensington lock. Quite a lot of I/O over here. Let me go ahead and open up this PowerBook G4, which has got a slightly sticky latch, but here we go. There is the beautiful 15-inch display, crisp and ready to be used. A trackpad. These are some stereo speakers on either side of the keyboard. And the power button. And there goes the startup chime from the speakers. And then we'll get the 15-inch LCD display. Like my iBook G4, this PowerBook G4 is booting up into macOS 10.5.8 and is able to get on the internet. And this thing is surprisingly quiet for its age. I can barely even hear it. And there is a very crisp and nice widescreen 15-inch LCD display. So first, let's look at about this Mac. So as you can see, it is running macOS 10.5.8, which is levered with a 1.5 GHz PowerPC G4 and GB of DDR SD RAM. Apple Inc. 1983 to 2009. And this thing is pretty quick actually for its age. So we'll take a look at our applications in here. So as you can see here, we have our normal array of apps by Apple, such as Address Book, the Dashboard, Dictionary, Exposé, Front Row, Font Book, Safari, QuickTime Player, Stickies, the Text Edit application, Time Machine, and the Utilities folder full of various utilities such as Activity Monitor, Directory, Grab, and Disk Utility. So I guess we could take a look at one of these applications in this PowerBook G4. And I know I already showed this on my iBook G4, but front row would be a great experience on this computer with such a nice screen, even by today's standards. Well, maybe this would be average, but you get to watch TV on a nice 15-inch screen, as I just said. And front row is basically like an application for emulating, basically it's an emulator for Apple TV on your Mac. When Apple TV was introduced in 2007. And you can see it is a very different experience compared to today's Apple TV. And unlike my iBook G4, I can actually get some things on iTunes since I have internet actually hooked up. This is great. So let's get out of this. And we also have a few TV shows and some music, which I still have to get on here. Yes, I have to import some of these songs from my MacBook. So that is front row. And I guess we can look at another application, such as, or maybe a feature called Spaces. And this is a feature that was introduced in macOS 10.5, and it allowed you to spread out your windows among different desktops. And now we have a different system of doing that today in macOS 10.11 El Capitan. But this was useful if you had a bunch of windows open on your desktop. Oh, maybe I opened up a few apps too quickly. So if I activate Spaces right here, I can just move some windows in my different spaces in here, and sure enough, here's another space. And it's pretty handy multitasking feature. So let's just close this. So then, hopefully you enjoyed this quick video of a PowerBook G4 running macOS 10.5.8, and this was the top of the line model with the 1.5 GHz G4 processor. Thank you for watching this.